If you're a homeowner who doesn't want to deal with switching your home insurance, we understand. Switching can feel like a lot of work. That's why Allstate is dedicated to making finding a lower home insurance rate as easy and as simple as possible.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary. Hey everyone, it's my birthday, and if you know me, you know I love coffee almost as much as I love Handsome. So, to celebrate, Handsome is launching its own line of coffee, plus a brand new Handsome coffee mug. We personally taste tested countless beans to come up with a Handsome blend we know you and your coffee drinking loved ones will enjoy.
It's pretty exciting. Plus, any order that you put in this week gets a free limited edition Fortune Marie sticker to ring in our pretty little lady's special day.
So get your Handsome coffee and coffee mugs now, along with Fortune's free birthday sticker at handsomepod.com. That's handsomepod.com.
Fortune Marie!
Handsome, chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod, chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well.
Yeah.
Welcome to Handsome.
Oh, thank you. Who
Yeah.
are you?
I'm Fortune Feimster.
I'm Tig Notaro.
And I'm May Martin. I was sort of gonna do Welcome to Handsome, and then I turned it into well, because I got shy.
Welcome.
Well,
That
welcome.
seems like a catchphrase on a sitcom.
Yeah,
I haven't seen you guys in a minute.
I know.
I missed your faces.
You're both looking extra handsome.
Thank you, May.
I'm still giggling because right before we started, we were talking about how we would podcast from heaven.
Yeah.
All three.
Due to our untimely death,
That's a commitment.
we would have like a terrible podcast accident.
Yeah.
And then we all died together, holding hands, recording, and then we float off into heaven. Yeah, ghost.
Yeah, I guess.
And so
I'm just picturing us in kind of togas, like up in the
Oh.
clouds, like classic heaven gear. And,
And the little-
classic. That toga is like classic heaven.
God is inspecting your outfit.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And all of us make it in, hopefully.
I think we'll all make it in.
I don't think May will.
Really?
I don't.
No, May
I
makes
don't.
it in.
After purgatory. I think you're gonna be in
May has to
purgatory.
wait a minute.
I think for a little bit.
May's smoking a cigarette. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll be with all the sinful, wild people in like the first circle of hell. Did you think Thomas makes it in, or is Thomas still alive and producing?
He's still alive producing.
He was responsible for our deaths.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was the real surprise curveball.
Like instead of turning the volume up, he blew us up.
Yeah, he turned up the gasoline and fire explosion button.
But he still sends us the link every week to click.
Mm-hmm.
That's our portal to the. That's how these mere mortals listen to our pod from heaven.
Oh my gosh.
And then May eventually makes it in because the Lord knows you have a good heart.
Thank you.
Well, the Lord didn't know right away. The
Yeah.
Lord had to keep you in purgatory.
He's determined to keep you in purgatory for a minute.
I deserve it. And also, I don't know, are they having fun up in heaven? Are all of our guests?
I think you're having more fun in purgatory, truth be told.
Yeah.
Fortune! What? I've never noticed your accent.
Truth be told, I think there's some fun happening in there in that middle ground.
You know what is so great about that? When somebody talks like that is you know that not everyone can hear you. You know, because you're like,
Yeah, you're
just between me and you.
May's in
purgatory.
That's right. No one heard me.
Do you think all our guests would have to be just the celebs that made it to heaven then? So it's pretty much just Mr. Rogers?
Oh.
We just interview him week after week.
Yeah.
Won't
Okay.
you be my neighbor? Hey, neighbor. I put a southern accent on him. Did y'all grow up watching Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, I
I
did
did.
actually. I did watch him. Yeah.
Well, how'd you end up in purgatory?
I know. I put in all these hours
Where'd
watching
you
Mr.
lose your way,
Rogers.
May?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably I started watching the Red Shoe Diaries with David Duchovny.
Oh, was that a naughty show?
Yeah, we'd get it all fuzzy on the TV.
Naughty.
Like we had to like adjust the antenna on the TV to get Showtime, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like Friday nights, and I'd often be at a sleepover with my friend Stephanie, and we'd like adjust the antenna, and we'd see like full frontal David Duchovny.
For real?
Yeah, so that's why I'm in purgatory.
Man, that doesn't seem like you should go to purgatory for that.
I know.
Because I used to watch Taxi Cab Confessions.
Oh, what's that?
Taxi Cab Confessions was on HBO, I believe, and it was a woman like with a New York accent driving a cab, or there was different cab drivers, and they would pick people up, and the people in the cab would just like tell their like deepest, darkest secrets.
Really?
Or like crazy stuff would be going on, or like people would be in the car like going to go have like threesomes.
No
It was
way.
unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And then they would just sign off and say, yeah, put it
I
out there.
think so. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
just like, we know that you revealed that you murdered someone, but I'm not signing this release.
And here's $100.
But it was so good. If we were to watch it now, it might feel a little like we've been exposed to so much that
Yeah.
we'd be like, man, that's not that crazy. But back in the day, like when I was 12, it was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Titillating.
You were 12 learning about threesomes and all that kind of stuff?
What can I say? I guess I'm in purgatory too.
Girl!
If you know what I mean.
I didn't hear what you said.
I guess I'm in purgatory
Think I
too, if you
said-
know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
Every note on
You're in Toronto right now, right, Fortune?
I am. Yeah, I'm filming Fubar season 2.
Yeah, May knows exactly where you are.
They try to guess where I live, which we won't say on here, but May guessed very wrong.
That was
May was
so
like, oh,
embarrassing.
yeah, let me just see out the window.
And then I went, yeah, that's probably Spadina and right by the waterfront. Fortune's like,
Nope.
no,
I'm like, no.
No.
I've been doing a lot of action.
no way.
Oh my God, my body is so sore right now.
Action sequences, like what, running, shooting.
Running, shooting,
Cartwheels?
fighting. No cartwheels yet.
Somersaults?
Parachutes.
Oh my God,
it's
parachutes?
I'm not jumping out of a plane. Let's not get crazy. But I wear a parachute. That's
What?
hard.
And that's
Wait, so that's it? You just walk around with a parachute? You're dragging a parachute behind you?
Dragging a parachute around.
Wow. And you don't have a stunt double?
Not a stunt double for that. That's on me.
Okay.
Do they, like-
I've been doing a lot of my own stuff. I got dragged across the floor.
do they like dangle you in front of a green screen, kind of?
I haven't been dangled yet.
You gotta
I was
get
in a
dangled.
I was in a
Got to.
helicopter last season.
It was
but-
flying through the air or was parked on the ground?
Okay, guys, it wasn't flying. It was on the
Okay,
ground,
you
but it was
have-
on it.
Okay, but you're leading into this like you're doing all sorts of crazy stuff. You're like, I was parachuting, I was in a helicopter. It's like everything was parked, and you
But
were.
I did fight. I did fight scenes.
Who dragged you across the floor? Is that a spoiler?
That's a spoiler. I can't.
Did you
tell
fight Arnold?
No, we're on the same team. We're both CIA.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Obviously.
You can still get in a fight. We're in a fight
True.
right now.
True. That's true. I asked him last season. I said I want to do more action. 'Cause I never thought in a million years someone like me would be in an action series. And then they really gave it to me this season, and I'm like, I'm gonna need to buy some Epsom salts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you mean, someone like you, like a gay person or a Southern
Like a
person?
large gal.
Oh,
You don't see a lot, like a larger gal.
Fortune,
action.
you're looking very in shape these days.
Really?
Kid. Yeah, I think so.
You look
Thanks,
great.
friend.
I
Yeah.
can't.
Appreciate it.
I can't wait to watch this. Is it is it a bonding experience with the person who's dragging you across the floor? I'm fixated on this.
Yeah, I mean, because you're like, I was like on my back for like 4 hours, and they were pulling.
What are we talking
pulling me.
about?
Yeah, that's what she said.
You guys. Yeah, I mean, you start to, you're on set all day in these crazy locations. You just start chatting and.
And I'm sorry, but even that doesn't sound like an action scene that someone's pulling you on the ground.
Tell
'cause
my
you're-
back that, Tig.
I'm getting nervous to to film. And the big question at the moment is
it's
like,
coming soon.
I know. And the big question is, am I going to dye my hair brown? And I know there's bigger questions. Like we're in pre-production. There's so many more important things going on. But I keep bringing every conversation back to like, and are we sure about, and we think about the brown hair? Like, yeah,
I
because
can't imagine you not with blonde though.
I know.
And wait, why brown?
Well, the woman playing my wife has the exact same hair color as me currently, and we look like siblings. And
I think she should dye her hair.
well, she
right?
very wisely put it in her contract that she.
I would say like you gotta do it.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on, May. I'm trying to understand what Fortune said.
I'd be
What's
like,
that?
hey, I'm kind of a big deal here, so we're probably gonna have to.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
For real, she has it in her contract.
Yeah, it's so smart.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Apparently, you can,
Of course.
and fair enough. I should be open to it. I think it would be cool. Help me get in the character, but I'm really nervous about what if I dye my hair brown and suddenly I look at my Instagram and I just have 2 followers, and it's just you two.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Everyone's gonna turn on you.
I would ditch you.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, we loved following May, but this brown hair is really a turn off.
Well, I did like an Instagram poll.
Unfollow.
I did like a poll, like, should I dye my hair brown? It was like 100% of people said no, and people were like really serious about it.
100%.
Something like that.
Not
like
one person wanted to see brown hair. That's wild.
Because I feel like I voted for brown.
Really? Well, that's why my 2 followers are going to be you and Fortune. Even Thomas will betray me.
Yeah.
Thomas, who killed us with a gas line.
Yeah. We can't trust him.
We can't trust him at
Judas.
all.
Yeah. Also, my character's a he/him in 2003, and I don't know if there's something about him. I don't think he'd be dyeing his hair from a box every 3 weeks the way I do.
Right. Well,
Man,
gosh, you got to figure this out soon, though.
I know. I'm gonna do a test. I'm gonna try it out and see. Because I mean, is it gonna be Tig's color? I don't know.
What's wrong with my color?
What if you and Tig look like siblings?
What are you saying about my hair?
No, I love your hair, but like,
God, what if I look like Tig?
Oh, jeez.
No.
Oh, God.
I'm thinking maybe I should bring in a picture.
You guys,
and say, can you give me the Tig?
What if suddenly I look like Tig?
Oh, God. You could put it in your contract that whatever they do, you don't want to look like me.
Well, if Tig plays my wife.
Oh, well, here we go.
You've already got the brown hair, and I can just keep mine.
You should have hired Tig.
Little Cowboy and Tidge star in a romantic thriller.
Man, that would be a hot combo, me and you.
Yeah, what if we
sure would. I'm watching that.
How long have you been in Toronto now, Fortune?
3 weeks.
Okay.
Man,
all right.
We just finished our 3rd week. We wrapped at midnight last night.
Wow. How do you keep your spirits up on set? Like, you're going late, everyone's tired. Are there snacks and kind of people playing fun games?
Always snacks. I was really beat this past week because a lot of stuff was on location an hour and a half away in the woods all day, wet. It's like been raining a lot here, so it's just not comfortable. But last night was fun because a bunch of us were on set and we were just like chilling and laughing. Jax is home in LA, so even I miss her a lot, but when she's here, I'm always worried, like, oh, is she bored? Like, she doesn't know anybody.
Yeah.
What time am I getting off? But
don't worry, because I've been hanging out with her here in Los Angeles.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I've been keeping her company.
Oh, calm down over there. But when she's not here, I'm like, what else am I gonna do? I don't know anybody in Toronto, so I have no qualms about working late or being there.
They wrap, and you're like, let's stay a little longer.
Like, yes, let's keep hanging out.
Keep the lights
nothing
on
to go back to.
Yeah. I had my birthday.
That's right.
Did I tell you about that? That Parv organized like a Survivor Day.
I can't remember if you told us or if I saw it on your Instagram.
It was so...
I can't remember if it's just that I assume you're always having a Survivor Day.
I mean, I truly...
With Parvati, that is true.
Yeah.
You guys are naked on a beach somewhere trying to start a fire.
Yes, yeah.
With your love.
Oh, man, just the friction. Nobody wants to think about their home insurance, but it's not as complicated as you think. With Allstate, making the switch and saving is easy and fast.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Support for today's episode comes from Honeylove. Honeylove has revolutionized the bra game. Say goodbye to underwire without sacrificing lift. Get 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/handsome. Support our show and check them out at honeylove.com/handsome.
You know, I'm very particular about what I put my tig old bitties into, and I will tell you, these Honeylove bras are so comfortable and supportive. I mean, you know, I don't have the biggest boobs, but I still got a little something something, and I need some support here. And I feel like Honeylove has just kept me nice and comfortable and feeling good and confident throughout my day.
Honeylove is not just supporting women, it's empowering women. Treat yourself to the best bras on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/handsome. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/handsome to find your perfect fit. After you purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Honeys, you deserve this. Free the pain and discomfort. Keep the support with Honeylove.
I knew that she was planning like some Survivor challenges and was going to invite a few people over, but I had no idea the extent. And she planned like it was like the titans of Survivor, like my idols.
Yeah.
Descended on our house. Then she had these two professional guys who their company is they do Survivor in a day. And they bring all this gear. They got like flaming torches and signs and challenges. And there were like 20 people, 2 tribes of 10 people. And we did a 6-hour season of Survivor, whittling it down to one winner. And it was, I learned so much about myself. And let me tell you, I didn't like what I learned.
What did you learn?
That you would throw people under the bus to win?
I can't be trusted.
That's usually what happens on these reality shows.
That's why you ended up in purgatory.
Exactly. To be honest, yes. It was like, first of all, going into it, a couple of close friends were playing with me and they were like, obviously, we'll never write each other's name down. We'll stick together. And just immediately, I was so starstruck by these Survivor winners who I'm like a fan of. Turned on betrayed, lied to their face. And then someone would tell me a secret. They'd go, I found an immunity idol. And I'd be like, okay, cool. They'd be like, don't tell anyone. I'd be like, thank you for sharing that. I would turn immediately, walk. I couldn't keep it to myself. I told everyone.
Wow.
And I found
be on Traders like Parvati.
I'd be a wreck. I'm like, I'm having too much fun. I love a bit of gossip. If I have a juicy piece of info, I want to share it.
It's going somewhere. Wow.
You can't keep a secret, May.
In real life, I think if someone said to me, please don't tell anyone, I don't think I would tell anyone.
You're definitely telling somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. You're lying to yourself right now.
Oh, man.
Now, can I ask you a question about the friends invited to this party?
Yes.
Were they given like, hey, this is going to be 6 hours, wear some tennis shoes, maybe bring a water bottle? Or did like they just show up for like a party in their high heels, thinking like they're eating a cupcake, and then this guy's like, you have 6 hours to survive.
It was really perfectly curated by Parv. So there were super fans, pretty much. My friends who are fans and highly competitive, and people took it so seriously. Except there was one, Abby Jacobson, never seen an episode of Survivor. Sweet little Abby shows up, but in her running shoes, ready to play, plays hard, does very well. But it was really funny throwing someone into this like very established format where she was like, okay, so what's an idol? Like what? Just
what's immunity? What's what is it when they pair up, people team up?
Alliance.
What's that called? Alliance.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
Yeah. Oh man, it was really super fun.
Sounds like the perfect birthday for you.
It really, I'm still buzzing. Yeah.
I love it.
I'm looking forward to going to Toronto though.
I mean, I know we've talked about all our many plans of things to do, but we got to go on a pontoon.
That's right.
On
we
the
got that
lake?
plan. On the pontoon, drinking that clam juice you talked about.
Ew.
Yeah.
It
What?
sounds disgusting. The Caesar.
Tig has no memory of anything we
Of
talk about on
anything.
this podcast.
Yeah, I truly.
May introduced us to a like a Bloody Mary, but it's with clam juice and it's called a Caesar, and Canadians apparently love it, and I'm like, bleh.
Also, we'll have ketchup chips and we'll have Tim Hortons.
I've had ketchup chips. Those are pretty good.
Pretty good, right? That was like
I'm not into them.
really too
Two
sour.
against one. I don't know. They just don't do it. I don't like the chip that's really thin. I like a more like
Crunchy.
heartier, crunchy chip.
Like a kettle chip.
Yeah, I love a kettle chip.
Me too. I'm with you.
I love a kettle chip, but I also love a thin chip. I love chips.
Ketchup chips. They remind me of like that sweet spot in middle school where you're like going to like someone's basement to hang out and there's a bunch of boys and girls and it's kind of horny and people are like, oh my God, are you going to be boyfriends with
God,
like
I never got invited to horny parties.
Well, but it's like the sweet spot where you care as much about the chips as you do about like maybe holding hands with some sweaty boy. And so there's just like disgusting ketchup chips that everyone's like hasn't realized yet that that's unappealing to be like covered in red dust.
I guess my main question is that appealing to hold hands with a sweaty boy?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, very, I think. Ian Peach, come on, that guy.
That's right. I don't think I got invited to horny parties because
Fortune!
I was more interested in the chips.
No, you would have fit right in. We were all secretly more interested in the chips. We were just pretending to be like.
Did you do the 11 minutes in heaven?
11 minutes?
Or how many minutes is it? I never got invited. How many minutes is it?
7.
2?
Fortune overstayed her welcome.
4 extra minutes.
That's going to be the name of our heavenly podcast.
Yeah. 11 minutes in heaven.
11 minutes. That does seem like a long time.
Yeah.
I never got invited into that heaven.
7 minutes in heaven is
what is it? How do you get in there? What is it?
It's the craziest game. It's like,
aren't you going in a closet with a boy back in when you're kids and you're supposed to smooch or touch a boob or something?
It's basically like, 2 kids get sent into a closet and then everyone's outside being like, ooh, and listening.
I was already in the closet. I didn't need to be put in there.
Yeah, they go in to make out and they're like, oh, Fortune's in here.
I mean, Chip. Hey guys, I'm gonna be in here for a long time. Probably till I'm about 25.
Welcome, make yourself at home. But yeah, usually then what happens is you're too shy to actually kiss or do anything, so you kind of decide on a story to tell everyone that you did hook up, and but it's like tense, there's sexual tension. And wait, that's what happened with me anyway. I don't know, maybe people are hooking up in there.
I didn't get to go in 7 minutes.
Clearly,
heaven.
Nobody invited me in there either.
Thomas, put it on the list. We are going.
Oh my God! All 3 of us are going in the closet.
7 full minutes.
7 minutes.
Are we going to bring some chips?
Yeah,
we have
big time.
to.
You know what chips I like that surprised me is pickle flavored chips.
Oh yeah, dill pickle.
Not into those either.
Really? Okay, I'm getting to understand your type.
Those are like kind of soury,
yeah.
Right?
Well, pickles, yeah.
Right, yeah, no thanks.
The big Canadian flavor, I've probably talked about this before, is all dressed Ruffles.
I love those.
Yes, I love Ruffles. They're a thicker chip with a ridge, and all dressed is meant to be like a combination of like barbecue, salt and vinegar, all these.
Give them to me. Put them in my mouth.
Yeah, I will. In the closet, I'll be feeding them to you.
Thanks, May. You know who else I want to be in this closet with us?
Who?
Besides
Biggie?
my wife, Jackson, Biggie. Today's guest.
Oh yeah, she could come in the closet with us. Sure.
Yes, she can. Today's guest is one of the greatest singers in the world, in my opinion. She was on my top list of my pop divas.
Yes.
If she covers your song, if you're a singer and this woman covers your song, just get ready for it to be 5 times better than your song.
I want her to cover our theme song.
Would love it. She has the voice of an angel. She's a Grammy-winning singer. She's a songwriter, an author. She has a very popular talk show. She won the first season of American Idol, has gone on to sell over 25 million albums worldwide. She hosts the Kelly Clarkson Show. Today's questioner,
Kelly Clarkson? Is it Kelly? Is it just
The
tell
one.
me. Fortune, is it Kelly Clarkson?
The only Tig. Yeah, it's Kelly Clarkson.
Fortune. I knew it was Kelly Clarkson.
Okay, so what's up, handsome? Hey, handsome. I want to ask you the question. If you, like, there was a day that you had to exist and that you were incapable, you could not tell a lie, like you had to tell the truth, who would you avoid most?
Oh my God, that just made me sweat, the thought of it.
Well, we already know that you were how you handled that whole Survivor situation.
I know. I like to think that's confined to the game.
One person that you couldn't tell a lie to.
I mean, do you guys think you lie a lot?
I don't know if I've talked about this book before, but the Martha Beck book called The Way of Integrity, I cannot encourage people enough to read this book.
I'm writing it down right
now.
now.
I mean, truly, it is life-changing. It is so eye-opening about honesty and the importance of removing as many even white lies out of your life as possible. And how it just, you hear the word integrity and you picture one thing, but I
know that, like, even those white lies, they do sort of accumulate to like that quote that's happiness is when what you say, what you do, and what you think are aligned or all the same. So like you're not thinking one thing but saying another or doing another. Like when all those things,
it's all congruent.
Yeah, and then you're living in your truth.
Any little Martha Beck this is what she claims, removed every ounce of dishonesty from her life. When people asked, how are you doing? Or what happened? Or why are you late? Or anything about her past, everything. She did this as just across the board, complete honesty. And she said the amount of joy and shift in her life that changed. I mean, because you look at these little white lies and you think it's nothing. And then she really maps out just the way that everything can pull you under when you're not living the most honest, upfront life. And I can't claim to be living the life she is, but I've always kind of, not always, but I would say since I was a young adult, maybe 19 or 20 something, I really started to think of my brain as an attic, and I didn't want to ever go up into my attic and have to dust off boxes and see what they were. You know what I mean? I just wanted to have it all sorted, all cleared out, be as upfront and clear with people and myself.
It takes a lot of bravery. I think, like, conversely, I also want to be someone that people feel safe to be honest with all the time, because it's hard if you're scared of someone's reaction. And definitely, in my teens, I lied as much as I spoke. Like everything out of my mouth was a lie because I was a drug addict. So like I had to lie because you got to lie to get by. And I really internalized, like, oh, I'm a liar. I'm like a compulsive liar. And I had so much shame about it. And then the shame just makes you lie more. And that would be like my one advice to parents is like, create an environment where your kid feels like they can tell you the truth and that you're not gonna, I don't know, make it about a bigger moral failure than it is, or you're not gonna like pathologize it or be highly emotional about it.
Well, I mean, it's really interesting again to read about that, letting go of that fear of how people are going to respond to the truth. And that not controlling you.
I mean, you live with your roommates are 7, so like it's
they will be 8 in June. Yes,
of course. Yeah, it's interesting with kids always, like living with a 5-year-old, when they lie and it's really obvious. I'm always like, okay, why does she feel the need to tell this lie? Like, what is it that is making her? And then trying to sort of make it so she doesn't feel the need to do that.
Well, I think a lot about kids lying, and I feel like they're being raised with a mixed message. So I think that it's important to kind of really examine that. And because children are encouraged to use their imaginations and do make believe and make things up. And that is such a huge part of childhood. And then when they do make things up, in other ways, they're lying. So I think it's hard for them to decipher between, am I making things up?
Yeah.
Or am I lying? Because all of it that's all made up. And which one is positive, which one isn't?
Yeah. Would it be hard for you to be around Max and Finn if you couldn't tell a lie for a day? Because what if they were like, is Santa real? Or like, is life depressing sometimes? Like, you know what I mean? Like with the hard facts of life, like, do you have to sugarcoat stuff with kids?
I mean, as I said before, I have not mastered. I don't know. I mean, I think our kids. I know your main concern isn't if they believe in Santa or not, but it has become really amusing because our son Max is like, yeah, I would like these new Pokemon cards, and I'm pretty sure Santa will get them for me because he got them last time when I added them to the list last minute, and it's pointed like, I know it's you. So please get me those cards. But yeah, I mean, I've certainly not, there are things that we haven't been upfront and honest and open with Max and Finn about. And, we just feel like it's not.
Yeah. You want to let them have the magic of childhood a little longer.
Right.
Fortune, are you super honest?
Well, it's interesting because I was thinking about like, what was my childhood? Like my mom, and grandmother would always instill like honesty and being upfront. My dad had a very rough childhood where he was a lot of different, like nobody gave him a lot of tools that he needed. He, when people say that a rough life, I'm like, I think about my dad's upbringing. It was pretty gnarly, and so he would tell like a lot of white lies to the point where like he didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
And I would be like, why did you say that? And he'd be like, he kind of looked at me like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like it didn't even register with him.
Yeah.
He's a lot better about it now. But back in the day, he would be pretty bad about it. And sometimes it'd be like really frustrating. And then other times it would be amusing. Like we went to a Chinese restaurant once where I went all the time with my grandmother growing up.
Yeah.
And this was like maybe a year after she died. And the guy that owned the restaurant said, how's your grandma? And my dad goes, she's great, she's great. so good. And I said, Dad, she's dead. What are you talking about?
She's great. She's great.
And then my dad kind of was like, oh yeah. So he goes back up to the guy and he goes, actually,
he went back.
She's dead. Yeah, he went back. He's like, she's dead. And the guy starts looking at him like he's insane. So
oh my God.
So I always try to like, that definitely, I would watch him, be like that. And I would be like, I don't want to be like that. And so I would like try to like really not do that. I'm also Southern though. And the Southerners have the infamous bless her heart kind of thing where they don't tell you if your shirt looks bad or something. They just go, oh, bless her heart. Look at her. She tried.
Oh
And,
my
like,
God. That's
do you
so
like Janice?
aggressive.
What do you think about Janice's sweater? Oh, I love Janice's sweater. That looks so good. Janice, that is a great sweater. You know what I mean? That's such a Southern thing to not want to hurt people's feelings.
Yes.
Like we think that like by being blunt and honest and that like again in that what seems like a small way, we don't want to we sacrifice some of the truth to not hurt the feelings. And Jax, when we first got together, she would be like, why are you doing that? And I would be like, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings. And she's like, no. So I've gotten a lot better because Jax is very direct, very blunt. She does not, like, if she doesn't like something, she doesn't lie ever.
But
So
there's
that
like a
really rubbed
happy
off on me.
medium. There's got to be a happy medium. Because when people
Yeah,
are
like
like,
when you
hey,
don't want to be an asshole.
I tell it like it is. I'm like, oh, are you an asshole? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
my grandma, I used to know she was lying because she would go out of her way to it wasn't like, oh, what do you like in my haircut? It was like I'd walk in the door and she'd go, oh, what a lovely haircut. And she'd go overboard and I'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
you hate my haircut. But my mom is the other end of the spectrum where I went out for a walk with my mom and she it was like a serious announcement. She stopped walking. She goes, can I say something? I was like, yeah. And she goes, I hate your baseball hats. I was like, okay, thank you. Like, I don't know that I needed to
Yeah,
hear
you
that.
didn't need to know that.
Yeah.
But, at least.
Yeah, there is a happy medium there, but
But I feel like in the way of like real lying,
yeah,
it's also so ridiculous because people know when you're lying.
For
That's
sure.
the other. It's
my
like,
Wi-Fi
just
lie.
stop. Oh yeah, your Wi-Fi lie.
My
It's
Wi-Fi
like,
will be back on at 10:30.
but also even when people, and I know sometimes it happens where people say, like you'll find an email or text message in your inbox that you really didn't see when emails like are in the same thread or something.
Yeah.
But I always feel like, why even say, oh, just seeing this, or why say any of that kind of stuff and just respond to it?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to like come up with like, hey, I was
backstory.
Yeah, like some weird backstory. Just be like, oh, hey, sorry. Yeah, we'll do this or that. You know what I mean? And that's another way of eliminating those kind of useless white lies because it's so not necessary.
Yeah.
Instead of like, hey, just seeing this, or hey, blah blah blah, this or that happened, where it's like, oh yeah, I was late today, or I
I'm getting better. We've talked a lot about like boundaries before and stuff. I'm definitely getting better at being like, I don't have the capacity to hang out this week, instead of being like, oh, I'm stuck in a hole in a park. I'll climb out maybe in a couple days and I'll,
And it's good practice. Just, when you don't do the small ones.
For sure. And you're just like, I'm not available.
Yeah, because it's also letting go of trying to please people, trying to do all things for everyone. Once you let some of that go, it helps get some of that guilt off your plate. And I think some of the small lies comes from guilt. For not wanting to hurt feelings or whatever.
Oh, totally.
But they are just as important. I think
because those add up.
Yeah, and it kind of allows for other ones and bigger ones and weirder ones.
I always believe in with when it comes to the bigger things in life, just being direct. This is what I'm feeling. This is
because
I have more respect for people when they give it to me straight.
Yeah.
And I try to do that for them too.
Absolutely.
It can like erode you inside if you're hiding something big. Parv teaches like a course called How to Be a Villain. And it's interesting because it's pretty much just how to not people please and like be direct and live your. But I think there's such a double standard with men and women that like women who are like that are labeled villains sometimes because they're and so it's like empowering people to
The one thing I had to work on when Jackson and I first got together is I had some like secretness around food stuff because that's where some of my issues come. And I wasn't used to I hadn't been in a serious relationship before. I was used to kind of doing whatever I wanted whenever I wanted, and not even like in a shyster way at all. It was like I'd go sneak in like I don't know, cheeseburger or something like midday, and she'd be like, where'd you go? And I'd be like,
I fell in
had
a
to
hole
go
in
by
a
the
park.
bank, which I did, but I didn't say I also got a cheeseburger. And she'd be like, I know you got a cheeseburger. And I'd be like, woman, how you know this? Woman, you're a witch. And so
okay,
for
well,
a
that's
while,
what you got to work on, the immediate calling her a witch.
So she was like, she'd always be like, just tell me, like, I hate it when you just like, I would admit like that, like, and I had to really work on. Now it'd be like, yeah, I got a freaking, I don't do it as much anymore anyway with food, but if I do, I'm like, yeah, I went and got like a milkshake.
I'm the same. Like, I think any kind of slightly addictive behavior and there's some sort of embarrassment associated with it, it's so tempting. And I'm the same with Parv, because I smoke like 1 cigarette a day, and I am so embarrassed about it. And it's like my weird little shameful secret. And she was like, I think you like it being a secret. And then I've started being like, I'm gonna have my 1 cigarette a day. I'm gonna go do it right now. And she's like, great, like do what you want. Like, she doesn't want me to smoke, but she's like, not, and it's
you
good
kind of
practice.
take the wind out of the sails of that lie when you're just like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Like, it's not this big spooky, like, secretive thing that's like a big deal. It's like, you're like, we put so much weight on these dumb things.
I know, and not to be like overly earnest, but like when I ended up going to rehab, and it was a harm reduction program, and I'm a big advocate for that, because it's such a big ask if you're like a hardcore type A drug user to go cold turkey, and this was like a day program where you go and report everything, and you were allowed to be like, yeah, last night they'd be like, what drugs did you do? And you'd tell them, and there was no judgment, and it was just like the relief of not lying to someone about it, and like being helped through it, no shame, and it worked for me.
Yeah. Not that this is a necessary part of telling the truth, because it's just better to do so anyway, but it is helpful when people are truthful to you, even if you don't like what they're telling you. When you don't throw it in their face, or as a recipient of someone telling the truth to you,
yes,
even if you don't like the thing they're saying, appreciating the honesty, and not being like, fuck you for, you know what I mean? That also helps the give and take with the people in your life. So like my good friends and I've gotten to, we'll be like, I have said to my friend before, like, everyone's like, that haircut's amazing. I'm like, yeah, I don't like it. And we laugh, because it's like, we've gotten to that point where we can trust that we can say these things to each other, and that's okay. Like, even if you don't agree with the thought or the answer or whatever it is.
I really appreciated it when I first got together with Stephanie, and she would ask me how she looked, or something she was wearing, or her hair. And I remember I was like, oh, well, and she said, I'm genuinely asking you. She said, I'm not asking so you'll tell me I look good. She said, I'm not going to take it personally and get upset if you say your hair looks not great that way. I think maybe try this, or that outfit doesn't fit you quite right. She said, I'm genuinely asking because I genuinely want your feedback. And when she said that to me, it just like, I realized that there was absolutely no hangups. And she wasn't, we were really having the conversation that I thought we were having and she thought we were having.
Yeah, which wasn't a trap. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've made many mistakes like that in previous relationships where I thought we were having a very straightforward conversation, and we were not. And I hurt feelings. And
also, when someone's like, just tell me the truth, and you do, and they're like, fuck you. Like, that's not helpful.
I've learned, like, in our job as well, like, if someone sends you a script that they want you to read, or or you watch their stand-up and they ask for feedback, like, I always say, like, how honest do you want me to be? Or when I send a script, I go, tell me what you like about it. It's too late to change huge things. Like, I don't really want your honest feedback. Or I'll say, really give it to me straight. Like, because sometimes you just do need your friends to reassure you about something, but I think you got to be clear about that. Like,
for sure.
Yeah. But as far as telling the truth, who would we avoid that day?
Oh, right.
That's a tough one, because I mean, you would think you'd say my wife, but it's like, I don't have any problem being truthful to Jax.
Yeah. There's a difference between like being truthful with someone for a day, and like, does that mean that you also have to air all of your historical grievances with them, or is it just like for a day you have to be honest? You know what I mean? Like,
it's Sounds like for that day, you have to be honest. I don't think you have to go into your Rolodex of, well, a year ago when I told you this.
And wait, am I understanding we're saying which person, like calling out a person that we would have a hard time being honest with?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think any of us are going to really give a truthful answer here. I guess maybe the 5-year-old I live with, because I don't know, I'd be worried that I would say something too real, like about the world or life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many different ways that you can tell a kid the truth, but in a very smoothed out way.
Yes, yeah.
And because I've certainly had to do that with our sons, where I'm caught in a moment of this is terribly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's been times, in my family, with family members, where it's been hard to tell the truth about how I feel about something.
Me too. And there's also people who you're like, they're not in a place to hear this, and they will be really unhappy. And so like, you got to weigh up what's worth it,
Right. Yeah.
Maybe like a comedy green room sometimes, when I used to play like clubs, and there'd be sometimes comics you admire or who are like further along than you, and sometimes they're not your style of comedy, but you're like, great set, man.
Well, but I mean, they can have a great set and you don't like their comedy.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. That's like, you're not lying when somebody comes off stage and you're like, wow, you did great. That was awesome.
Yeah.
You're not saying, oh my God, you are the Maria Bamford of my dreams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'd be hard with like a friend who has done like, be it comedy or music or whatever it is, for like 20 years and hasn't found success.
Yeah.
They love it so much, but they're not great at it.
Yeah.
That would be tough to have that conversation of like, maybe
I'd
have to do the voice. Maybe it's time to move on to something else.
But also,
it makes them happy. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, my argument is always like, who are we to assume people want to be the richest, most powerful or famous person ever? It might just be that they want to get up and share their thoughts and feelings, or write a joke, or tell a story. And so what,
as long as they have pure happiness and that's driving them, and they wake up every day feeling that, absolutely. I just meet a lot of people that are very bitter about it and like can't understand it. That's when you're like, is this the path? That would be a tough conversation to have.
Yeah. I did date someone who was in her 30s. We lived together, and that she I think had a sort of lying problem. It would be like, oh, I like your dress. Is it new? No, I've had this for years. And then I find the tag in the on the side table. And then, or like, then like a year into the relationship, I was booking a flight for like a surprise trip for us. Picked up her passport. She'd been lying about her age to me.
Wow.
She's 2 years older than she said.
What's her name?
Well, can you beep it out?
Don't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, lying is such a crazy thing.
I've had some pathological people in my past where you're just like, man, this is beyond anything that can be fixed at this point. You're just like, you're believing your own lies. That's
what I was gonna say is what's crazy when you see people that are so deeply in their lie about themselves. Even like, I always talk to Stephanie about people where you see them aggressively trying to appear happy.
Yeah.
Or in like social media or something, it's like, I'm happy, I'm having the best life, I'm doing the, and it's like, why don't you just relax and go have your good life? You know what I mean? It's just, it's just like, it's so insane, because to me, it feels like you're masking something if you're aggressively trying to prove over and over that you're happy and nothing can stop you. And it's all, I mean, I know that's what social media is for, but I just get like,
Well, you're like, who are you trying to convince?
Yes,
Yourself, basically.
yeah. And that's where it becomes like a deeper lie, because just because you organize all these things and capture all these pictures of aggressive joy, it doesn't read that way to me.
Yeah.
To me, I'm always like, God, I would be embarrassed to constantly be trying to push that I was happy.
I have 2 May facts for you. Number 1, if you're doing a lie detector test, you can pass it more easily if you're lying by clenching your butthole. That is true.
Ooh,
you clench your butthole as hard as you can, and it means
what are you talking about?
I know.
I'm currently clenching my butthole.
Okay, so
who told you this, and how did they find this out? I need way more information than May telling me.
May fact.
I saw it on a true crime thing, I think. So if you squeeze your butthole the whole time, then it brings your heart rate up to a level, I think, or something where it's like harder
where
to
it's
tell.
not dipping and stuff, or whatever it is.
It changes your resting rate.
Your resting butthole face is what they call it.
But also the person doing the test is probably like, why are you grimacing like that? Like, why are you? And then the second thing I wanted to say is, can you guys guess if I'm lying or if I'm lying or if I'm clenching my butthole, I'm gonna make a statement and then you tell me if it's true. Okay. I am wearing shorts.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's true.
And if you're watching on YouTube, you're about to have the answer.
May's wearing shorts.
God, I thought for sure you were lying.
Really? Because it is weird to wear shorts with a hoodie.
Is it?
I think so.
There's just different climates going on.
Yeah,
North and south.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that would be more fun than it was, but
everyone watching on YouTube right now, hold on to your panties.
Hold on to your clenched buttholes. May just flashed their legs in shorts.
That's right. May, give the people what they want. Should we hear what Kelly had to say?
Yeah.
And if I had to answer this, well, I have a real answer. I don't think I'm going to say that one, but I will say, I think I'd honestly, I don't know. I think I'd avoid a lot of people. I think maybe this isn't a good question. I don't want to answer it. So wait, I think I'd avoid my children, because here's why. I don't lie to my children, but my daughter is very adamant about knowing personal things in my life that do not concern, like adult things that she's always wanting to know the answers to. And if I couldn't lie, then I'd just say them. So I think I'd avoid my children for that day. Not that I lied to them, just that I don't want to tell them some truths.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm curious of what, I don't like my answer either. But I'm curious what your answer is. Who would you avoid? Who do you lie to?
That is so that's
She's
kind
like,
of,
I'm not going to tell you the truth of who I really don't want to see.
She has very similar answers to us, which is we're not really going to say the answer, but I guess kids. But
I genuinely wouldn't pick Jax because, if I'm having a bed of lies with my wife, what are we even doing here?
I know.
Yeah.
Married,
I know.
Yeah.
There's also, I kind of get a thrill sharing things with Stephanie that are very challenging and tricky.
It's radical honesty. It's hot.
Yeah. It's like I've often wondered if I was ever attracted to somebody while we were together. Not I've often wondered, but I do feel like I could share that with Stephanie.
Totally.
Like if it was, but I know you're saying that because you're May and but I just mean like in a real way,
right?
Of like, not like, oh, that person's hot. I mean, I feel like I don't ever, unless it's Carrie Russell, I don't feel like I ever feel that. Like, I don't know if I ever feel like people are hot.
But if you had like feelings for a co-star,
yeah, if I was like, oh gosh, this is really interesting, I feel like I would be interested to have that conversation with her because I do trust our dynamic.
It's also like Fortune and I were saying, like, it takes the wind out of that would take
secret
away
or
the kind of
whatever, yeah.
spark of secrecy. Like if you say it, it's sometimes deflates the energy of the thing. Yeah, I would be honest
you would
about
know that like your partner's telling you that hopefully because they want to sort that out with you. I mean, I wouldn't be telling Stephanie that because I would want to leave her.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
you'd be like,
yeah.
Oh, this
You'd
is
be like, isn't this weird?
This is a bit of a situation.
May are hot.
Yeah.
I think I would want to know as well if Parv like had feelings for someone, but I did tell her this is a really specific scenario, but I was like, if you're on vacation and you're in, say, Portugal and you meet a sailor in the port and it's some hot sailor and you're drunk and you just want to bang this sailor and then he's going to be back to sea, I was like, just don't do it. And if you're going to regret not doing it and you really want to have fun, go for it. Just never tell me about it.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
And I do kind of feel that way. But
Yeah.
if feelings are involved, I think I would want to know.
Gotcha.
Well, you know, Stephanie and I did this thing recently.
That's why I avoid sailors.
Yeah. Because you know you couldn't stop yourself.
Stephanie and I had a little a moment the other day or night where we were talking and we were like, who do you think is my secret crush?
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
So she had to tell me who she thought I secretly was into.
In real life?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And was she correct?
Oh my God. Look, when I say she was so off, it is no offense to this person. In fact, this is a friend and she listens to this podcast. And so she'll be very amused and I'll say who it is. But do you know who Amanda Klutz is?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
She seems lovely.
She's so awesome and she's so attractive. And when that was like right off of Stephanie's tongue. She was like, I feel like it would be Amanda Klutz. And I was like,
hilarious.
What? And she was like, well, Amanda's from Ohio. And my first girlfriend is
Who
from
doesn't
Ohio.
love people from Ohio?
My first girlfriend's from Ohio, and I'm very close to her and her family. And our family goes out to Ohio to visit my ex and her family.
Oh.
And so, and Amanda had given our family Ohio sweatshirts because she knows of my connection to Ohio. So Stephanie was like, I just could picture you and Amanda wearing your little Ohio sweatshirt.
Oh my God.
Hilarious.
But I feel like Amanda is also somebody that Stephanie is really always interested in somebody dating her. Like she's how do you not, like, you got to date Amanda. You should go out with Amanda, and then she's pushing her off on me too.
That's a lot. I
She
think
is someone
Stephanie's,
you root for.
She's got a crush on her. Yeah. And then who did you guess Stephanie's right?
I can't even remember who I guessed.
I feel like Parv knows who I have a crush on. And it's like, I have a crush on so many people that it's just like a non-thing.
And I have a crush on no one.
I don't have a
truly.
I truly don't either. I don't have the slightest crush on anybody.
But maybe I just mean just people that you're kind of giddy around and people that kind of, it feels like, the people in your life where it feels like the director said action when you hang out with them. It's like you're just suddenly more alert, more engaged and on. Like I think I don't necessarily even mean sexual crush. It's people who I'm like kind of giddy
I'm pumped to be around
there's people that are like fun and funny and like where you can have a crushy vibe around, but not
Billy Crudup.
I don't have well, yes, of course, him. But I don't have anybody.
I did Nick Offerman's Netflix is a Joke festival show, and all I could think was, I hope he didn't listen to that episode where I said he was like my main man crush.
My main man crush.
But what a lovely, kind man.
Yes, love him.
Only deepened my affections to be around him. When she was talking about her kids and not lying to her kids, I did think of a story that I don't think I've ever told before, which is a few years ago I called my parents and they always both pick up one end of the landline. They have a landline only. So they're both.
They don't have cell phones?
They just got them and they never talk on them. They'll just occasionally text.
Oh, just for emergency?
Yeah. They really hate
in the glove
them.
compartment.
Yeah, seriously. So they pick up and I'm like, well, what are you guys doing? And my dad goes, oh, we were just playing Scrabble. And my mom goes, we were not playing Scrabble. We were having sex. And I was like, okay, that's an example of like a lie would have been fine, you know? But
Yeah.
I kind of respect it too. She's like, you know,
Wow.
sex
I love that your
positive.
parents are still getting it on.
I know. I like that about them too. I'm
That's
proud of that.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, what a story, May.
What a story.
What a podcast.
What a
Thank you.
podcast story.
Thank you, Kelly Clarkson,
Yeah,
for
Kelly.
the I've actually learned a lot with this question. So this was a cool thing to dive into.
And truly, I cannot encourage people enough about the Martha Beck book. You should read that book. It is so good.
Well, do you guys have anything coming up around July 9th today?
I just have 2 more shows left of my entire tour. Niagara Falls, New York at the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino on July 27th. And in Charlestown, West Virginia at the Hollywood Casino August 10th. And then that's it for my tour.
Oh, my Lord.
Let's see. I'm going to be in Omaha on July 13th. Of course, my website, tignotaro.com, can always send you to the right place because I do have a few gigs here and there around the country. And when I'm back in Los Angeles, I'll either be at Largo or Dynasty Typewriter. When I'm home, visiting in the middle of production.
I've really got no live shows, but my book is reprinted. It's been out of print, and it's for teenagers. Well, it's for anyone really, but it's sort of age 14 and up. It's called Can Everyone Please Calm Down? And it's a kind of educational book about sexuality and gender. I wrote a new foreword for it because when I wrote it, I was a she, and now I'm not, and I couldn't be bothered to go through the whole book and change all the she's. So I wrote a foreword, and I think, but it's that's on sale. So if you have any young people in your life who you think might benefit from it, I think it's pretty funny. Check out handsomepod.com. We got some sweet merch up there. I'm loving the pictures people are sending of them wearing all the gear. There's t-shirts, sweaters.
Get your handsome tank for the summer.
Yes.
Because they've been selling like hotcakes. It's been cool seeing people out in the wild wearing their handsome shirts.
I know. I run into people all the time. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it every time it happens.
Do hotcakes sell particularly faster than other baked goods? Like
they sell so fast.
Really fast.
Okay.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Especially at breakfast time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just
slows down a little bit at lunch.
Hotcakes sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, guys, until we meet again, please remember,
keep
it handsome. Home shopping season is upon us, and whether you're buying a new home or are an existing homeowner, you're going to want the best rate for your home insurance. With Allstate, savings easy, and switching from an existing plan is simple and quick. Home insurance doesn't have to be a headache.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.